Today we'll be going over a tutorial on how to program using Microsoft Visual C++ 2010 edition or Express. We'll be doing Hello World. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's quite common for beginners. It's a simple code, and so let's begin by opening up Microsoft Visual Express. Here it is. This is a free software. You can download it on their website. It's a nice interface, very simple to use, and yeah. So we'll start by opening a new project here, and here's all the different types of projects you can do. Quite some. You'll go to General, Empty Project, and put in a title. So test, I'll just name it that for now. Okay. And it's a little slow. So here's all the files. We'll be using the source file. You'll right click, add, new item, and here's all the different types of I don't know what you should call it, but yeah, we'll be using C++, CPP. Title, so test 1, and so this is where you'll be doing most of your coding, and as you can see, each line has its own number. Starts from 1 to 5, goes on forever, so yeah, let's start. We'll start by using hashtag or pound include IOStream, and then greater than sign. So what we're saying here is that we want to include or use the IOStream file, which is pretty much it's a big library, output library, input out library, with all the functions, and you'll be using that IOStream a lot. Then we'll type in using namespace std, and then you put a semicolon. So when we type in using namespace std, we're pretty much telling it to go into the C++ library within the namespace file and into the std and look at the main functions in there. And this semicolon is how you would end a command. So next up is int main and then parentheses. This is pretty much where a lot of the main functions will be executed. You'll put a lot of codes inside here, and you'll do that by starting a squiggly bracket. That's what I call it. And inside the squiggly brackets, and there you end it. Inside there, you'll do all of your coding, all commands, everything except for these kind of commands, the main commands, tell it what it has to do. Everything else would go inside these commands, or these squiggly lines. Some people, they put a void inside here, but I don't find a use for it, or at least I haven't yet. I'm sure there is a reason for it, but we won't be needing it for now. So let's start by making our first command. So we'll type in cout to output functions, and then we'll type in quotation hello world and put a space, or for now we'll just go like that, and then you'll end that command by using a semicolon. So cout is pretty much telling it that it's going to be an output and everything after it will be outputted. And then I'll type in return 0 semicolon, and that's pretty much ending the command completely. So well, that's all you need for now. Let's try and run it, debug it. So you go to debug, start without debugging, and over here it says that it's like it'll tell you what it's doing. It's working. It succeeded, and I don't know if you saw it, but let's try it again. Start without debugging. It just went by real fast, and we didn't really get to see it. So what we need to do is tell it to wait for us, So we'll do that by typing system space parentheses quotation pause, end quotation and end parentheses, and then a semicolon. So what we're telling it to do is we're telling the system to wait for us to give it a command to close and end the program. So let's test it out. Start without debugging, and here it is. So it says hello world. I can click on it, it won't work, nothing will happen. And it says hello world, press any key to continue. So it's waiting for me now, and then once I press a key, it closes. So that's pretty much a basic command to it. If we want, we can space it. So we'll do output function and L, and we could keep doing that. Each one that we type in is another space. So let's try it and see what the outcome is. And here it is. So as you can see, it gave us some more space. It's like pressing enter pretty much on a Word document or whatever, and it came out pretty nice. So we'll keep that. Or actually, there's another way to do this as well. You can go into your quotations and type in /n, and let's see if that worked. Start without debugging, and yes, that worked as well. So there's two ways to do it. There's probably more, but I won't get into that. And let's keep that. And you can also write more inside this bracket. You could do cout I'm coding a program. It doesn't really matter what you write. You know, you can write whatever you want, but as long as it's in quotations so the text comes out. I use the end L because I got used to that. So, and we use a semicolon as always, and you go to debug, and it's working down here, and here it comes. I'm coding a program. So yeah, in coding you can do it all on one line if you want. It doesn't really matter, but it's nice to I messed up. It's nice to be neat. It's because when problems come up, it's easier to tell where the problem will be. See, it'll still come up in 2 lines because of the spacing here and these spacings. So it doesn't matter that it's on 1 line, it'll still come out on 2. But let's say since C++ is a case sensitive program, if you do an uppercase C and try to run it, it will not work. And as you can see, there were build errors, and yeah, it'll tell you it'll tell you that there was a failed build, and it will tell you where. So it was on line 9, and it was the cout. So we'll go to line 9 and cout and fix that, and then it'll work again. So if you were to do it on 1 line and you mess that up, then you debug it and it will still give you that same problem. But now that it's all on 1 line, you'll have to look through more, and it just makes it more complicated. So it's nice to have it all organized. You can space it out as much as you want, doesn't matter. Yeah, pretty much the basics. That's all. You can do all that good stuff, you know. And I think that's all for this tutorial, unless I'm forgetting something. And oh, here's one more quick tip. If you want to add notes because you like to be all organized or whatever for your own reasons, you know, you could do 2 forward slashes and it'll turn green, and you could type in notes and, like, let's say, what does this line do right here? We'll just say it prints hello world, and when you debug it, that will not come up. And let's show you just to prove it. And here it is. It doesn't come up. It's your own notes. It'll stay there, and as long as you want. So I think that explains it. This is kind of ending the main. It ends the main function, and this just ends the coding sequence, like right here to here. And that's all. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and hope to have more later.